And this is 24-2-02031-39. So let me identify everybody. You are Gilbert Bazan?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are Jared David Paulson?
Yes.
All right. And do we have Christopher Vargas on Zoom?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Christopher Vargas, are you on Zoom?
Yes. 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 I'm here.
Okay, wonderful. Let me change the name on this. Let me change the name. Okay, and your attorney is Bradley Johnson, who is also on Zoom. Yes. All right, so we are all here. Let me ask Mr. Bazan or Mr. Paulson, are you still asking for a protection order?
Yes.
And Mr. Johnson, is your response? Mr. Johnson, are you agreeing that a protection order may be entered, or are you objecting?
We are objecting, Your Honor. I don't know what happened to my attorney right now.
Okay, well, he's there, and I can see him trying to do something. He's just not able to get off mute, apparently. Let me try that.
There you go, Your Honor. I don't know why that wasn't unmuting. Yes, we're asking for the denial of the protection order, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, so let me tell everybody that I have read the documents that have been filed. I read the petition filed by Mr. Bazan, the response that was filed by Mr. Vargas, and then a statement that was filed by Mr. Bazan's wife, I believe. So you do not have to repeat any of that. Mr. Paulson, would you like to call any witnesses today?
No, Your Honor. We're going to rest on the documents that have been provided.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, do you wish to call any witnesses today?
No, Your Honor.
So you'll submit it on the statement that Mr. Vargas has filed, as well as your brief?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, so the request here is for an anti-harassment order based upon the statements of Mr. Vargas that were put on YouTube. I believe that's the only place that was alleged to be involved. The statute which applies, well, there are a number of statutes that apply, but the definition of willful, unlawful harassment is in 7.105 010, section 36. And I will use just this section that applies, and that not the single act of violence, but section A, a knowing and willful course of conduct directed at a specific person that seriously alarms, annoys, harasses, or is detrimental to such person, and that serves no legitimate or lawful purpose.
So, Your Honor, can I interrupt for just a second? I apologize.
Yes, sir.
It seems that the court is going straight to issuing a ruling, and I want to make sure that my client makes sure that he's had a full and fair hearing in the matters, and I'm concerned that maybe he won't feel that way if we just go straight to hearing. I'd like to know if the court has any questions or things, having gone through the pretty extensive pleadings. Were there any questions or any aspects of evidence that the court wanted additional elucidation on?
Well, that's a good question, Mr. Johnson. I will tell you that I have not heard a case yet where I didn't wish I knew more.
Yes.
And so that's always true in every case. I wish I knew more about the parties, about what they are going through, about what really happened. But
Well,
I
think we should swear Mr. Vargas in then.
Hold on. I don't know of any specific question that I have in this case, nor do I wish that there were more evidence presented, because I can't think of anything specifically relevant to this case that I have questions about. Now, if you believe that something is missing from what you have filed on Mr. Vargas's behalf and the statement Mr. Vargas prepared on his own, you may call your client. But I'm not telling you that there is something specific that's been missing.
Okay. I think there's one thing that came to light after we had filed the pleadings, and that was the fact that the officer claimed that there was a finding of no misconduct, and yet there actually was new training that the officer was subjected to because he didn't.
Your Honor, I'm going to object. I think there's
body cam.
I'm objecting. It seems like Mr. Johnson's offering evidence that is not before the court.
Well, he's explaining why he might want to call his witness to offer that evidence.
Yeah. So maybe the proper procedure now is just to swear Mr. Vargas in, Your Honor, and
okay,
we'll open with Mr. Vargas's testimony.
I'll do that. Mr. Vargas,
Yes.
please raise your right hand. I cannot see you, so I need you to tell me you are raising your right hand.
My right hand is raised, Your Honor.
Thank you. Do you swear that the testimony you are about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. And I can see you now. Thank you for turning on your video.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Vargas, please state your full name and spell your last name.
Christopher Vargas, last name Vargas.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Vargas, what was your purpose in creating the website Auditing Mobton?
It is to hold government officials accountable. It is my journalism, documenting my story, and education as well on the Constitution and our rights.
How long have you been a journalist in this way?
I have been taking it pretty seriously the last 6 months but my first video that I posted was about a year ago.
And how many videos have you created in that time?
Over 200.
And how many subscribers do you have to your channel?
Over 55,000 subscribers. And
why was this an important activity and vocation for you?
I was unlawfully arrested several times. I've had my rights violated, and I wouldn't want anyone else to go through the same thing.
Mr. Vargas, perhaps you can, Mr. Vargas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Vargas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Perhaps you can turn your video off, because we just missed a great deal of both video and audio.
Give me one moment. My signal's pretty bad.
That you had been falsely arrested several times.
Yes. Can you hear me now, Your Honor? Hello? 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 Hello?
Hear you.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that. My apologies.
You may
Last
continue.
thing we heard is that you've been falsely arrested several times.
That is correct. So ever since I've started my channel, I've pretty much been on the target. All I do is just document my encounters with the government, government exchanges, conducting official business, and just exercising my right to film in a public space while working on my story.
And you're a veteran, Mr. Vargas?
Yes, sir. I am honorable discharged, and I just recently got out last year.
How many years did you serve?
Almost 3 years. So I got out a little shy of the 3 year mark.
Okay. And so was it your intention to harass the petitioner in this case?
Absolutely not. I have made several videos as well after I have been served. That, my intention, I have no ill intent. I have no intention of hurting anybody. This is just strictly educational. I'm just, educating the public. I'm showing the public what's going on through my experiences and my opinions as well. And I even wished the petitioner well. I wished him well. I wished his family well. I wished his kids well. God bless him. All I'm doing is just documenting my experiences. I've never reached out to him. I'm just posting on my platform, nothing directly towards him. It's just for my audience. If people don't like it, they don't have to watch it.
Are the things that you've posted all compiled from public resources?
Yes, everything that I get is from public resources and public accessible data.
You don't have any means to access anything private that belongs to anyone?
Absolutely not.
So were you concerned when you found out that this officer had killed a pedestrian
Oh
in
yeah.
the course of his duty?
Yes, I was very surprised because Mr. Bazan,
Your Honor, I'm going to object as to relevance.
when I first,
Hold on.
Objection, relevance.
I'll allow it. Go ahead, Mr. Vargas.
can you repeat the question again? I'm sorry, I got thrown off
The
by this.
question, we noted that you posted that the officer had killed a pedestrian.
Yes.
Why did you post that?
So I posted that, and I found that very interesting because this individual, he choked me out while I was in handcuffs. He roughed me up while I was in handcuffs. And so I did a little investigation, private investigative work on him, citizen investigation. And I did find that this individual did run over a woman that was laying on the road, and he killed her. And I thought it was interesting because he still stayed on the force. He got a paid leave, and it was very alarming. He kept his job. They did their investigation. Right now, I'm in the works of doing a public records request, so I'm waiting on that. It keeps getting postponed, and this man, when I did a complaint on him and I spoke to his lieutenant, which was Lieutenant Church, he did find Mr. Bazan did not activate his body cam allegedly, which personally I don't believe, but this is what they're saying, that he did not activate his cam, and he did choke me out. So now the video that I wanted to request of him choking me, he doesn't have it, but he did admit in the police report that ironically his hand slipped and wound up on my neck. But I requested the video. He did not have it. So now he's getting retrained. And Mr. Bazan lied. He said that he was cleared of all findings, which is not true. So there goes his credibility. Now he had to retrain internally for this act of him
Your
not
Honor, I'm
activating
going to
his
object
weapon.
as to foundation.
His body cam.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Um,
So
yes.
you felt, Mr. Bazan, I know this is emotional for you, and I know this is difficult, but the judge just wants to hear you calmly explain what was the purpose then. Once you discovered that he had done that, did you just feel like the public deserved to know? Could you hear me?
Mr. Vargas, are you there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the question was to somebody else. My apologies. Can you repeat that again?
No, it's to you. Did you feel like the public deserved to know, or what were your motivation?
Oh, yes. My motivation was absolutely that the public does deserve to know because, like I said, I'm documenting my story. This individual also violated my rights. He damaged my property. And then when I looked into his history, he actually murdered someone and stayed on the job. So I feel that the public does have a right to know because I had no idea about this. I used to work in emergency medical services, and I know a woman who was an EMT that got that it was the same thing. She by accident she ran over somebody allegedly, and she wound up in jail. She wasn't in law enforcement. He did the same thing. He didn't wind up in jail, so I thought it was pretty interesting, and I posted it on my site. That's all.
And were you sending links to your site to the petitioner in this case?
I've never spoken to the petitioner since that unlawful arrest.
So you weren't sending him any emails alerting him to your site?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You weren't sending him any letters articulating your point of view to his home?
Nope. I
You
wasn't even.
didn't call?
Yeah.
You didn't call him?
No. Did not.
Didn't text
Absolutely.
him?
Nope. Nope.
Didn't try to find him in public and follow him?
No. Absolutely not.
So the only thing that would even conceivably be a course of conduct, so-called course of conduct, would be you just simply posting the information that you had found onto your own website, Auditing Upton.
Correct.
Okay. I don't have any other questions to ask, Mr. Vargas. Is there anything additional that you wanted to say that's relevant that you feel like the judge should know?
Um, I've stated before, I have no ill will, no ill intent. I'm a family man. Have an honorable discharge. I've never been arrested a day in my life. I mean, well, up until I moved to here, but prior to me getting out of the army, I've never had a record at all. Even right now, I have no convictions. So currently I have a clean record, and I plan on keeping it that way. And I wish everyone the best. And I'm just here for transparency. That's all.
Thank you.
Mr. Jensen, or excuse me, Paulson, do you have any questions for Mr. Vargas?
I do, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Mr. Vargas, how did you meet Deputy Bazan?
I didn't meet him. He just came and smashed my window and arrested me.
Okay. Can you tell us about that event?
Everything's on the police report.
Okay. Did Deputy Bazan arrest you?
He put me in cuffs, but he was not the arresting. He did the dirty work.
Okay. And what were you arrested for?
Everything is on the record.
Your Honor, Mr. Vargas has a pending case, so if there's something relevant to this specific allegation for a protection order, I think that would make sense for cross. But just simply going through a case that is a pending case that Mr. Vargas is fighting and has entered
Your Honor,
not guilty to, I think that's improper.
Mr. Johnson, are you saying that the case for which Mr. Bazan arrested Mr. Vargas is pending?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, Mr. Vargas opened the door by talking about his arrest.
He did. And we're not talking about the charge, it sounds like. So I will allow the questions.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, it sounds like he is asking about the specific factual details of the arrest and the charge. That has a tendency to, that's going into what Mr. Vargas's upcoming trial will be about. I think it's improper here.
Well, he certainly does not have to answer any questions about the underlying charge, but I don't see how his case would be impacted by questions about the arrest, which is what Mr. Vargas put on the internet. So I will allow questions about that.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Vargas, you met Deputy Bazan the day you were arrested. Is that correct?
Like I said, I didn't meet him. He just came and arrested me. Like, put cuffs on me. It wasn't a meet. I didn't even know who he was until afterwards.
Before that, you had no prior contact with Deputy Bazan.
Correct.
And Deputy Bazan was the one who put handcuffs on you. Is that correct?
From what I recall.
And you were unhappy about that?
Wouldn't anyone be unhappy about that? I don't think anyone will be happy about putting cuffs on them. So
Were you upset?
I think anyone would be upset about that.
What did you tell Deputy Bazan when he put handcuffs on you?
I don't remember.
Did you tell him that you would expose him?
I don't remember.
Is it fair to say that you were very distraught during this event?
Wouldn't anybody be distraught for being unlawfully arrested?
So then you decided to take this matter to YouTube. Is that correct?
Everything is on YouTube, but if you want to look at my account, everything is there for transparency.
Okay. And you mentioned in your testimony that you did not have an intent to harass Deputy Bazan. Is that correct?
My intention is not to harass anyone, and I've stated it on disclaimers as well.
Okay. Was it harassing? Do you believe it's not harassing when you put, let me rephrase that. Did you call Deputy Bazan a pig?
Did I?
On your YouTube channel?
Is it there?
Yes.
So if it's there, it's there, right?
Okay. Did you call Deputy Bazan a POS?
A POS?
Yes.
I didn't call him anything. Everything is just on my site.
Did you say that Deputy Bazan was a murderer?
Everything is on my site. Is like I said. I didn't say anything. Everything is just on my site for transparency. Everything that I got on my site is from resources that I've got from other mainstream media.
Did you, in referencing Deputy Bazan, did you call him a pig and say oink oink on YouTube?
Did I say oink oink on YouTube? Absolutely. Oink oink. Yes, I did. Yes. Freedom of speech.
And I do respect your freedom of speech, sir. In the context of these comments, did you also post photos of Mr. Bazan with his wife and children?
Did I post stuff with his wife and children? Everything is there. Everything is there on my site. Everything is there. And I said, I wish him no harm, wish him nothing but the best. I told my people, not my people, well, my subscribers, this is for educational purposes. This man did what he did. His family, maybe his family might need help. I don't know. But, I just put it all out there. When a sex offender gets convicted, or if the government puts them out there, the pictures were already online. Everything that I got was already publicly accessible. Nothing I got was personal, private. Everything was all publicly accessible.
If your purpose was not to harass Deputy Bazan after he arrested you, what was the purpose?
I make a living off of this, and I hold government accountable. This is my vocation. So that's the whole purpose of this, is for education, accountability, and transparency.
Why did you post Deputy Bazan's address and a picture of his house on your YouTube channel?
If you go on my channel, you will see.
I guess that's not really an answer to my question. Why did you do it?
That's the answer that I'm giving.
Your Honor, I'm asking Mr. Vargas to answer a question. He's not answering.
He's answering. I'll allow his answer to stand.
Okay. So, in summary, Mr. Vargas, you believe that posting photos of Deputy Bazan's wife, children, house, and address on your YouTube channel in the context of calling him a pig, POS and a murderer, you believe that was not harassment?
I believe in freedom of speech. Anyone can say whatever they want to say on their own platform. Nothing was directed towards him. It was just on my platform for my followers. Like I said, if people do not like it, if they feel offended, they can block me and they don't have to look at my content.
No more questions.
Mr. Johnson, do you have any follow-up questions?
Is there anything that you felt like you weren't able to say based on the context of the cross-examination framework, Mr. Vargas? Please sit, Mr. Vargas. Just stay seated, please.
Yes, I'm going to sit down. I'm sorry, my daughter just walked into the room. I'm going to a quiet spot. Okay. I'm seated. Okay, so
Is there anything that you don't feel like you had a chance to let the court know, given the context of cross-examination kind of limits?
well,
what you
yes. Well, yes, I was under the assumption, innocent until proven guilty. That's the whole point of this justice system, correct? So I just think it's not right that I'm being cross-examined on the basis of a case.
Okay. We don't want to hear your grievances right now, Mr. Vargas. We're just simply asking about the evidence that the judge is going to use to make a ruling.
So the evidence that the judges is if that they're using, like I said, it's not. I was not harassing. I'm just exercising my freedom of speech. They can not tune into my channel if they don't want to. It's not a personal attack. I just posted public information, and like I said, and I've said it before. I do what I do for accountability, and anyone who I guess cross paths with what I'm doing, they're just going to be exposed if they are tyrants.
Okay. All
That's
right.
all.
Thank you, Mr. Vargas.
That's all.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, I'm assuming from the comments you made earlier that you'd also like to make a closing argument.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
So, Your Honor, I'm glad that we were able to take testimony from Mr. Vargas so that the court can see that, yes, he's opinionated, but he's a fiercely independent American who believes in his freedom of speech and his rights. He felt that he was unfairly arrested. He's fighting that case through the court system. He feels like he was bullied when he filed a complaint with the police. They effectively gave him the bum's rush. When he asked for the videotape that the officer would have had from his on-chest video camera, it was conveniently missing. The explanation that he was given is that the officer had forgotten to turn his camera on. When he gave a statement to the court, he told the court that no wrongdoing was found, and yet that's not actually accurate or true. He was sent for training with respect to the use of his video camera. Those video cameras are on the officer's chest, not just for officer safety and for prosecution, but also for the safety of citizens. Mr. Vargas has a web channel. The officer in this case is not the only subject that he videotapes on, and that he provides transparency to the public about. We provided the thumbnails from just a handful, but yet dozens of the videos that he's created. It's well within his rights for freedom of expression. He did not send the videos to the officer. He didn't send the videos to the officer's family. He didn't reach out to the officer in any way. He didn't send the videos to the officer's friends or colleagues. He just simply published through self-expression what he felt was true about the arrest. The officer didn't like it because it was bringing additional publicity to the woman that he killed, I'm sure through an accident. But nonetheless, probably a humiliating and very defeating set of circumstances that the officer lived through. And yet that's on him. And that's a matter of public record. The newspaper who published that article that Mr. Vargas reposted was also exercising their First Amendment privilege of expression. So this is just not a case where the court should be shutting down somebody's YouTube site in the context of a anti-harassment order. So I get that the officer doesn't like Mr. Vargas's website. I imagine that it would take 5 clicks on anybody's phone to find an endless stream of websites talking about other public figures, other political figures, the 2 presidential candidates. There are millions of posts and thousands upon thousands of sites. And that's just this great country that we live in. And sometimes freedom of expression is inconvenient.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Paulson, would you like to make a closing argument?
Yeah, I'll be really brief, Your Honor. The issue that we're looking at here is whether a protection order should be granted due to unlawful harassment. And there's more than enough evidence here for the court to make that finding and to order the protection order for Deputy Bazan and his family. Deputy Bazan was doing his job. He arrested Mr. Vargas. He has no ill feelings toward Mr. Vargas. He's just going about his daily job. And Mr. Vargas was upset about his arrest and decided that he was going to exact revenge against Deputy Bazan. And he did it through posting photos of Deputy Bazan's wife, his children, his address, and a picture of his house. This is absolutely harassing. It was absolutely meant to annoy and alarm Deputy Bazan, and it absolutely was knowing and willful. A reasonable person would actually have emotional distress over this, and this has actually happened, as you've seen in the declaration by Deputy Bazan and his wife. Mr. Vargas crossed the line, and his YouTube channel is not or should not be used to exact revenge against somebody he has a personal vendetta against. And in this case, we are asking for a protection order for Deputy Bazan and his family.
Thank you. Let me start my comments with saying what this is not. This is not a decision based upon the underlying charge that brought Mr. Bazan and Mr. Vargas together on, I'm not even sure what night it was. Sometime in May.
May 5th, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is not a case where I am deciding whether or not Mr. Vargas is a legitimate journalist. That's not for me to decide. This is not a case for me to decide whether Mr. Vargas is acting ethically as a journalist. That's not for me to decide. What this is a case about is whether or not Mr. Bazan is entitled to protection from Mr. Vargas based upon the comments that Mr. Vargas has made. And I will review the comments made by Mr. Vargas in light of how they were presented. Mr. Vargas has said a number of times, both in writing, on his website, in his declaration, and in his testimony today, that he is making these comments for educational purposes only. He is not trying to harass Mr. Bazan. But that's not enough to close the question about whether or not statements are harassing or annoying or otherwise objectionable. That takes me back to the statute that I was reading earlier before we stopped for testimony. The definition of unlawful harassment is a knowing and willful course of conduct directed at a specific person that seriously alarms, annoys, harasses, or is detrimental to such person, and that serves no legitimate or lawful purpose. The course of conduct must be such as would cause a reasonable person to suffer substantial emotional distress and must actually cause substantial emotionally distress to the petitioner. So what we have here are a number of statements made by Mr. Vargas on his YouTube channel. Mr. Bazan attached quite a few pictures with descriptions from the website of Auditing Mabton, posted by Mr. Vargas. And through Mr. Vargas's statement and testimony today, he has admitted that these are his statements. I will review a few of them. One is a picture of Deputy Vargas and his family, and Deputy Bazan and his family. And Mr. Vargas's statement is, I told this POS I was going to find his public information and expose him to the world. He didn't define POS. I assume that means the common vulgar meaning. But he did not just put a picture of Deputy Bazan. He put a picture of Deputy Bazan and his family. That's not punishing an officer. That's punishing innocent people who were not involved in the incident in May. Here's another one. There were a number of phone numbers listed on one page of the website. Phone numbers posted on the Auditing Mabton website that apparently are for Mr. Bazan. Phone numbers that I assume are both family phone numbers as well as possibly work phone numbers. Let me go to another one. There was a picture of his children posted with a statement, Yakima, Washington, Deputy Gilbert Angel Bazan, you have been chosen to be exposed, all in capital letters. And it's Deputy Bazan with 2 children. And it says, written over it, I stand behind the something who protect this line. I'm not sure what that word is. Another one of a picture of his house. A picture of the house plus and description from the Apple Valley News, apparently. Property details, which list the square feet, the year it was built, the estimated value, estimated equity, last sale amount. All of that is listed, but there is no explanation of how that exposes an officer who did something improper while working. No, that house is something where the family lives, and the family is now exposed to harassment from the public that Mr. Vargas so carefully riles up with his statements. Here's another one with a picture of his wife and a statement about Officer or Deputy Bazan killing a woman lying on the roadway by running over her with his patrol car. He also choked me while I was handcuffed. And then there's more about his requests. What do you guys think about this pig? Oink, oink. Let me know in the comments. And it's a picture of not just Officer Bazan, but Officer Bazan and his wife. These are incredibly harassing and annoying to the family. I will go to the statement of Mrs. Bazan that was filed on August 28th. Mrs. Bazan testifies by her statement that she became aware of these statements, the videos that were attached by Mr. Vargas to his website. She says, sadly, this letter doesn't express enough of the emotional and physical impact the situation has caused our family. This letter doesn't express the fear I have and the loss of control of our personal information. I am personally affected by each post, including in each photo and commented on by Mr. Vargas and his followers. This has caused stress, anxiety, and fear. I fear for my life and the lives of our 2 young boys. Most importantly, I fear for the life of my husband, the father of our boys, and who every single day risks his life to make our community safe. Not only do I fear Mr. Vargas himself, but I fear his followers, the unknown followers who now know of all our personal information, including but not limited to a photo of our home with physical address included, directions, and vehicle information. This letter doesn't fully express all of the emotions and fear Christopher Vargas has caused our family in just a short amount of time. It is very disappointing and discouraging that we live in a country where a person can do so much damage to one's character without consequences. How many times can Mr. Vargas post photos of our family in a very negative and threatening way? I ask that you consider this letter as a plea for the safety of my husband as an officer of the law and the safety of my family. And that was signed by Christina Bazan. Mr. Vargas, I do find that the statements you made were incredibly harassing. They were incredibly annoying to a family who did nothing wrong, did nothing to you. And Mr. Bazan, Deputy Bazan, was doing a job. I can understand if you want to post about things that he has done and complain about his actions to you. I may not agree, I may agree with you, but I can understand you posting those comments. I do not understand your posting information about the family and bringing them to the public's scrutiny and setting them up for ridicule. I am finding that Mr. Bazan has supported his request for an order of harassment.
May I just say something real quick, Your Honor?
No, sir.
Okay.
I am ordering that you not have any contact with Mr. Bazan or his family, that you stay away from his house, that you not harm any of them, that you not follow them or keep them under surveillance, that you not enter their residence, vehicle, workplace, or the school or daycare of the 2 minor children. I can't stop you from posting anything you want. If you want to make terrible comments about either Deputy Bazan or the court, I can't stop you from doing that. However, there are rules about libel and slander, and perhaps you might want to talk with your lawyer about those.
I'm aware of those, Your Honor.
I am also ordering you to surrender all weapons, firearms and other dangerous weapons, because this order does require you not to harm Mr. Bazan and his family. The state law does require that I order you to surrender any firearms you have. You must surrender them to your local law enforcement agency within 24 hours. And it's probably too late to do it today, but you would need to surrender them by tomorrow.
All because I
Uh,
posted. All because I posted.
No, the weapon surrender is because I'm issuing the harassment.
No, I
order.
know. I know. Because I posted online.
Mr. Vargas, I'm done hearing your comments. You can get a copy of the order from the clerk's office. Mr. Johnson, you can get a copy of the order from the clerk's office probably tomorrow.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Probably stopped in phones by now because they usually close at 4 o'clock. But a copy would be available tomorrow. Do you have any questions, Mr. Johnson?
No, ma'am, I do not. And
And
I'll discuss with Mr. Vargas.
Good, thank you.
and this is why I do what I do, everybody. Already bats in, like, share, subscribe.
Thank you. You may end your Zoom connection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We will need you to sign these orders, please,
Thank you, Your Honor.
and we'll give you a copy.